The Joe Rogan Experience.
The weirdest motherfuckers I've ever been around were homeschooled.
Yeah, homeschooling is interesting.
Dude, I know
Strange.
a guy who's homeschooled and he's so fucking awkward and he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
He's just he doesn't know how to hang.
Yeah.
He can't hang. He never learned how to hang. No one's ever fucked with him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to deal with people jabbing him and just fucking around with him. He's like,
Right.
Ooh.
He doesn't get
doesn't get it.
Is he mentally ill?
No, he's a smart guy in terms of like he can rattle off facts.
Why did his parents homeschool him?
Religion.
That's part of it. Yeah.
It's a lot of it, man. Most
like
of them
deep, real Christian stuff. Or?
Yeah. Anti-vax too. A lot of weird shit.
Anti-vax.
Yeah, the whole deal.
Well,
You're
I
gonna
don't
take
know.
apple cider vinegar and it's gonna cure everything.
We gonna trust Bill and Melinda Gates? You know.
Oh, with the vaccines?
I mean, they're going all over the third world, sticking a needle in anything. I mean, those two
What are you
are.
talking
They
about?
are. They are.
They're trying
It's
to
a
help
fact.
people. They're trying to use
Sure,
their
they are. Listen, they try to help people if it works.
Pause.
Yeah.
What do you think would be their motive? First of all, Bill Gates literally has $90 billion. He's trying to do good things with his money and trying to use his money for philanthropy.
Sure.
But hold on. The idea that these fucking crackpot conspiracy theories have that Bill Gates is the Antichrist because he wants to get people inoculated from vaccines with vaccines and viruses, that he's somehow or another trying to control people. Bill Gates has everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't need anything more.
I agree.
He's not trying to get anything more. He's making no attempts to control markets, no attempts to get to like $1,000 billion.
100%.
He's not doing that.
But,
he's using his foundation to try to help people get healthy, help people get internet, help people get running water.
But they have. I mean, listen, they've done things in the third world. Like they've introduced certain vaccines and stuff that have had adverse health consequences for people.
Like what?
This is. I mean, you could look it up. But this has literally happened. I mean, they've been involved with things where it's like
when you
hasn't gone
say
well.
something like that, if you don't want to get sued by the richest man in the world, and you're going to, he's coming after you right now.
I will gladly get in a high-profile legal battle with Bill Gates right now
about
vaccines.
What do you think about vaccines?
No, I think they're fine for the most part. But if he wants to sue me because of something I said on a podcast, let's go.
Well,
it could only help
what
my
are you
career.
saying he did? No, it can't.
No, he
If
went.
He'll cripple
but he
you
went
with
to
financial
listen.
debt.
I don't research these companies, but I know for a fact that he's been involved in vaccine things that did not go well.
Where'd you read this?
I read it.
PrisonPlanet.com?
No, I read it. This is a fact. This is a reality. You can't just listen. People have issues with vaccines.
When you're saying it's a fact, you have to be able to reference what you. But if you don't really have enough information to say it's a fact.
Well, it's something that's been reported and it's been credibly reported.
By who?
I mean,
see what I'm saying?
But no, it's been credibly reported.
Gates Foundation accused of dangerously skewing aid priorities by promoting corporate globalization.
Look at the people in the back of that photo.
Okay,
they don't look happy.
What does that mean, though,
they don't
Jamie?
look happy.
That's not what we're asking. We're talking about adverse reactions to vaccines.
No, yeah, Jamie.
But say that again. But let me see that article title again. What a bizarre title. Look at this. Accused of, click on it, please. Dangerously skewing aid priorities by promoting corporate globalization. What does that mean?
Well, because
why
everything's
is there
in
so
one,
many quotes around everything.
Everything's in one umbrella, right? Like his company, his health initiatives, all of these things work together, and that you have to trust that everybody's motives are pure. I don't think he's trying to depopulate the world, but these people stand to make lots and lots of money if people adopt certain vaccines, right? Or certain things that are, maybe medically advantageous, maybe not, maybe necessary, maybe not.
Pause. Yeah. There's definitely an issue when money's involved with any sort of treatment.
Yeah.
And this is one of the issues that a lot of the conspiracy theorists bring up when it comes to ventilators. That a hospital gets X amount if someone gets brought into intensive care, and then they get Y amount if they're put on a ventilator. So they're saying, well, there's a motivation to put people on ventilators.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I would hope never, but there have been cases of people doing surgery on people that didn't need it. There have been cases of people doing things to people and treatments on people where it wasn't necessary to provide, something so they can. They wanted to make money, and they do things to people just to make money, not to make them better. That has happened.
I think there was something in India. If you look at Bill Gates, India, but I think I mean
vaccines.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there is something. I'm not making Joe. I'm not making this up.
I understand, but do you understand what I'm saying? That you're saying something as a fact. And you have literally no data.
I have the data. I just can't recall the exact name of it. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
But you don't know if it happened. If you can't,
I didn't go and investigate it in India.
The data.
Here we go. Controversial vaccines. Why is Bill and Melinda Gates? Thank you.
Under fire from critics in India. Well, let's read it. Funded 2 entities that have played a key role in immunization program and are both under fire for conflict of interest. Okay, it doesn't mean adverse reactions to vaccines. 2009, several schools for tribal children. Jesus Christ, how weird is that? Say those names. The Kamam district.
Yeah, we'll just skip it.
In Telangana, then a part of undivided Andhra Pradesh, became sites for observational studies for a cervical cancer vaccine that was administered to thousands of girls. Oh, so it's a HPV disease. That's a dangerous vaccine. That's a dangerous vaccine.
These girls are whores. Okay, forget it. Sorry.
No, the vaccine's dangerous.
Yeah.
That HPV, there's people have had adverse reaction to that. Like a high number. The girls were administered by the administered the human papillomavirus vaccine in 3 rounds that year under the supervision of state health department officials. The vaccine used was Gardasil, manufactured by Merck.
Yeah, months later, many girls started falling ill, and by 2010, 5 of them died.
Yeah, that's but that is a.
I get it.
That's a controversial vaccine. Period.
I'm just saying.
It's good, but it's one of those ones where there's a high number of adverse reactions. Estimated 14,000 children studying in schools meant for tribal children were also vaccinated with another brand of HPV vaccine, Cervarix. I like when they're like on the nose like that. Oh, is it cervical cancer? Yeah, we'll call it Cervarix.
Cervarix.
Manufactured by GSK. Earlier in the week, the Associated Press reported that scores of teenage girls were hospitalized in a small town in northern Colombia with symptoms that parents suspected could be adverse reaction to Gardasil. So some people died from this vaccine, but it isn't. Google HPV vaccine dangerous reactions, because I've read that there's a certain percentage, whether it's 1/10
I just think you have to look into it when there's a guy
some people get.
When anyone stands to make billions of dollars and institute something that's going to be very widely accepted as now necessary for life, you have to ask questions about it.
According to HPV vaccine manufacturers, the most common adverse reactions to Gardasil include pain, swelling, redness, stinging, bruising, bleeding at the injection site, and headache, fever, nausea, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and it keeps going.
It's not that bad. I'm not saying that he's doing something inherently wrong, but you have to watch people like that. And the fact that nobody knows, nobody knows these, this is not a well-known thing.
I understand, but the idea that this is how he wants to make his money by vaccinating people. There's a reason why he's doing that.
But we have a world that's increasingly run by billionaires whom tell us what is and isn't necessary and how things are going to be, right?
That's true.
Whether they're in tech, whether they're in health, whatever they are, these are billionaires. Generally, they give these TED Talks and stuff like that. People don't pay attention to what they're doing. They influence the political system in ways that in ways that we know about and don't know about. And you got to watch these people.
Okay,
I don't know Bill Gates.
Okay, hold on.
I have no idea what he wants to do.
Now we're talking about a totally different thing, and I agree with you. See, the thing is, before 2000, let's say 2000, no one had any inkling whatsoever that social media was going to have an impact on political realms, on the way, just language, what sort of discourse was allowed, what wasn't allowed. No one ever thought that this was going to be an impact, and that these companies would literally earn billions of dollars by selling your data, meaning what are you interested in? What are you clicking on?
Yeah.
What are you going to? And that's what they're getting their money from. This is a great podcast that Sam Harris put out. I wish I could remember the guest. But he was talking about how we didn't know that our data, in terms of our search history, the stuff that we go to, where we travel to with Google Maps, we didn't know that data was a commodity.
Right.
And so we signed off on one of the most valuable commodities in the world.
I think it's bigger than oil now.
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
And these companies, not only do they gather up this commodity, but then they use their influence to influence social aspects of our culture, the way we communicate, what's allowed, what's not allowed. And that's squirrely, because these people a lot of them are socially inept.
I mean, all the stuff you were talking about at the beginning, when you say when they're going to come to you and they're going to say you need a card, you need this, you need that. the free flow of travel, how you're allowed to travel around the country and the world. A lot of these people, whether it's Gates or whoever, are going to have a huge input in those laws that are made.
And they're going to think they're doing it for a good reason.
Of course, not everybody does everything because they think they're doing it for a good reason.
Not necessarily.
You know, well, a lot of people do.
Some people do.
I bought my house because I believed it was going to work. I bought it because I believed in home ownership. The point is that I just think you have to look into this. It's not my job to have every fact before I speak. Well, it's not my job.
When you talk about Bill Gates and vaccines and things along those lines, you probably should.
If Bill Gates wants to tweet at me and educate me later, at Tim
you know
J.
what
Dillon, we can do that.
The real fear is that they're practicing with these vaccines on poor people. That's what
that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're doing it. They call the school a tribal girls' school.
I know, tribal.
Tribal girls' school. What kind of? I mean, it's crazy.
Like Native Americans.
I mean, Bill Gates wouldn't be doing that in Bel Air or Beverly Hills.
He should.
You know, I agree.
Just grab kids.
Start grabbing those TikTokers and fucking put needles in their face.
Grab those little Beverly Hills kids in private schools. And
I walk around there every day and those little pieces of shit give me a fucking look because they know I shouldn't be there, but it's close to my house where I have to walk. Where I have to walk and get air and just see other people.